Hello, everybody. And, ooh, that is a bright light. I'll turn that down so you can all see me better. There you go. Hello, everybody. Black Sky Studios 290 here at this beautiful web stream live cam. So, unfortunately, for my uh, videos that I have made for my last uh, redo of my representation in film analysis for my homework. Apparently, those two videos have not been uploaded on YouTube because YouTube, it does not let me post it on my channel for some odd reason, which I am not happy about. But this is another way of doing this. So this is the only way that I can do this. So doing a live stream, it's probably way better. But anyway, so again, welcome to my live stream. Today I will be talking about uh, a, film movie review that I have chosen for my homework in my communication class. The movie that I have chosen for this particular live stream, I will be talking about Beauty and the Beast. Let me just tell you, it is one of my top favorite Disney classics. And also the fact that not only it's my favorite, but it's a beautiful love story between a girl and a monster. Who knew they would get together? I wouldn't know that. I wouldn't know that at all. Which is kind of strange. And also for this live stream, if there's any comments or anyone who likes to chat in the live chat, you are free to do that as well. But anyways, let's get into the good stuff here. So I got some good notes that I would like to share with you. Some key facts about the movie. And then after, I also have some film analysis, opinionated thoughts that I also like to share with you as well. Hopefully we'll have time for that. I hope this video or this stream can go for 6 minutes, but it's possible to do a live stream from 4 to 6 minutes. Oh, hi Stormy. Thank you for joining into my stream. I would just be talking about my favorite Disney classic movie, Beauty and the Beast. So that is all that I will be talking about. Some key facts about it, some hidden messages, some true meaning, what the rose means in the film. Just some theatrical facts. And I also written down some of my opinion on the movie as well, as I said before. And I hope I'm not boring you or anything. So this live stream is only for this particular assignment. So anyway, let's get to the good stuff. So first things, okay, my binder, one of my art binder just fell. So let me just fix that real quick before I talk about the movie. Sorry, audience. Technical difficulties. Please do not judge. We's experiencing some technical difficulties. Please stand by. I hope everything's good. Okay. So sorry about that. But anyway, let's get to the good stuff, shall we? All right. So, Beauty and the Beast. Not only is my favorite Disney classic movie, but it's also the fact that who wrote it? You know, Walt Disney himself. Yay! But anyway, so Beauty and the Beast, it got released on November 22nd, 1991. That was like years past the 2000 decade. It is an animated musical romance fantasy film. Like I said before, it was filmed by Walt Disney himself. He is history. He's a legend. He made all these Disney classic movies, from like Hercules to Little Mermaid to Snow White. Snow White was actually the ever first colored movie that he ever did, like ever. Well, it was black and white, and then it turned to color. It was the utmost first movie ever made in Disney history. It's crazy. But anyway, Beauty and Beast was premiered as an unfinished film at New York Film Festival in September 29th, 1991. Its theatrical release completed film at the El Capitan Theater in LA on November 13th. In the historical times, the real story, so not the 1991 version of Beauty and Beast, but there was a different version of Beauty and Beast, and it was completely different. I think it was like a black and white movie. There's so many versions of Beauty and the Beast, really, but this real one, there was like a book about it, or like a magazine about Beauty and the Beast and how that story came to be. So the real version of Beauty and the Beast actually came out in 1740, which I didn't even know about, quite honestly. But that's a really, really, really long time. That was like in the 1700s, not in the 18s or 90s. Definitely not. Those decades are long gone. But anyway, I cannot do the math either. 1740 versus 2024. I can't do the math there. But anyway, the hidden meaning of Beauty and the Beast. I found this quote on when I was doing my research of this film, and I didn't even know that this quote actually was an actual meaning of the film itself. But this is what the quote said in on the as I researched this movie, and it told me the meaning of it, and it said, seeking to understand what has been hidden and about the importance of courage and compassion. So the reason why I find this quote very interesting is because in a 1991 version of Beauty and the Beast, where the scene where Belle is in the Beast castle and she is near these jail cells where her father is being held captive by the Beast. She utmost finds the courage to actually stand up to him in order to exchange his freedom for her. I don't know if that makes sense, but like the fact that her father was held captive by the Beast, she wanted to make that exchange in order for her father's release. She was utmost so brave, and she actually stood up to him, and she said, "Take me instead of him. Just let my father go and take me instead. Take me in his place, so that he can be free, and for him to be safe." She actually cared about her father's safety, but the fact that she put herself in danger just so that she can let her father go. No, so that she can so that she can see that her father to safety. His safety meant a lot to her, and the fact that it was so like brave, and she felt so confident and like so so bold, and a brave move that she made was like utmost like any kind of princess that would do. Like none other princess can stand to a horrible beast like him, because Belle and the Beast, they're two different stories. The fact that the Beast was treated so harshly versus Belle, she was utmostly treated like shit. Sorry for my language. She was treated like so bad, because the fact that in the town where she, lived, everyone was treating her like not good. Like she was telling her she was odd. She's a bookworm. There's nobody that she really talks to other than Gaston because he's a bad influence on her and he's a pig and he only cares about looks and stuff and you just can't do that. But the fact that Belle and the Beast, they're two different stories. Like the fact that the Beast, he looks like, a tall monster versus Belle, she's most beautiful. She's most beautiful hair and the eyes and the voice that she has. It's all that jazz. But she finds the utmost courage to stand up to him. It's so bold and so confident. And also, when she goes up to him, she says, "You have my word," and then he's like, "Done," and he makes that decision for her. And it's so, the fact that she stands up to him, that is so bold. Like a woman standing up to something a woman that is standing up to something or someone that is not like her whatsoever. Because Beast, he's just like a creature. He's an animal. He's a beast. Whereas Belle, she's like, she has this utmost like courage to stand out to him, and I find that so like meaningful and like so strong. She was so strong up to that point. And also with compassion, when Belle and the Beast were back in the castle after the fact that Beast was bitten by those wolves. It's okay, Stormy. You don't have to talk. You just have to. You can listen to me. You can listen to whatever you say. You don't have to talk. But anyway, when Beast was in the forest after being bitten by those wolves, because after the fact that Belle was scared of the Beast because I don't know, she found this courage to go into his room without his permission, by the way, and like she was like walking around in his room trying to find out what is his story, and she goes by to this rose, and she and the red rose, I will tell you about that later, is like has that huge, I wouldn't say like glow, but kind of a protection like shield around the rose because it's so like it's a magical rose, by the way. And the fact that the Beast is so protective of the rose, he didn't want anything bad happening to it. And he actually yelled at Belle, and he didn't even know that she was in his room. He yelled at her for touching his rose, and he warned her to not step foot into his room, into the West Wing whatsoever. The West Wing is his potential room. And he also the fact that he forbade everyone from entering his room. I don't know why. He's so protective of his room. Like I don't know. He just like to keep things separate from everybody else. The fact that he yelled at her, she immediately started freaking out and started like gasping and like, "Oh, I didn't mean to," and she's like, "I'm out, I'll be out of your hair and whatnot," and like she was out of the castle because she was so scared. The fact that the Beast like literally was so enraged and so frustrated and so mad at her for invading his personal space. Like who does that? I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, my mom, she always invades my personal space and whatnot, but she doesn't mean that doing it anyway. Stop talking about that. But anyway, the fact that she leaves the castle and into the forest and tries to get home, but the wolves, they come out and they start trying to attack her. I don't even know why that even happens. Like she didn't do anything to the wolves. She only wanted to go home to feel more safe and be with her father. But apparently, the Beast came out and saved her butt. Like, first you start yelling at her for entering your room, and the next thing you know, he's out there saving her butt. Like, is that a change in him? I would think so. I guess he didn't want anything bad happening to her. I thought, and in that moment, he actually, in my opinion, I thought he actually started to care for her. I mean, I know he didn't really talk to her all that much, but and how he treated her so harshly when she was in the castle with him. Like, after he yelled at her, he actually saved her butt. Was that a total switch with the beast? I would think so. As a total click. Like, if she's in danger in the forest with wolves trying to get eaten, and that click, I'm gonna go out and save her. I don't really care about her. I don't really know her all that well. I'm just gonna save her butt because I don't want her to be eaten by wolves. That's a total switch by the beast. And also the fact that after because the wolves come out and they try to attack the beast, and then the wolves bit him on his arm, the blood gushing out of his wound, and then he falls to the ground. And Belle is witnessing all of this. She's witnessing the fact that the wolves are attacking the beast. She doesn't know what to do with this at this point. But the fact that and she was with her horse, Philippe. She turns around and she decides two things. One, the fact that she's with Philippe, she could actually make her escape and try to go home. But whereas another side, the beast is wounded on the floor in the snow. She can make that. She has two decisions: whether she can go home and not care about the beast at all, or the fact that he's on the ground wounded and injured. What do you do at this point? Do you run away from it, or do you want to go back and help him and heal the thing? She made this bold move of actually starting to. Also, she made that click too. She made that decision as well. She made that instant move. The fact that she decided to help the beast get back to his castle. She takes him up and puts him on her horse and walks with her horse, with the beast on the horse, back to his castle. Belle could have made that choice for her to flee the castle and not care about the beast whatsoever. But she didn't. She actually carried him back to the castle where she could heal him. That's also another bold switch, which I think I find that very you made that move? You had the courage. You had the courage to just go home, and you didn't make that move? Who does that? She could have made that huge switch. Honestly, you just don't. But anyway, she carried him back to the castle where she could heal him. They were in this fireplace room, and she has this rag that's filled with water, and she tries to put it on his wound so that he would stop licking it, because he starts licking it as a beast would. And she tries to heal him, and he's like, that hurts. And she's like, if you hold still, wouldn't hurt as much. And he goes you haven't run away, this wouldn't happen. And then she was like, if you didn't fight me, I would have run away. And he was like, well, you shouldn't have been in West Wing. And she was like, well, you should learn to control your temper. And she's trying to heal him. And even though the wound really hurts on him, she tells him, by the way, thank you for saving my life. And then he's so surprised the fact that he's so surprised the fact that she said that to him. And he was like, you're welcome. And it was very nice of him to say that. And also the fact that she saved his butt out there. Like she was literally saving him. And I guess he wanted to do something special since his wound was all wrapped in around in bandages, whatnot. And he was outside, and Belle was outside with her horse, trying to be happy and stuff. And the fact that he touches his wound when he was outside with his other two servants, he was like, I never felt this about anything, about anyone. And then he wanted to do something nice for her after saving his butt out there being killed by the wolves. And also the fact that, a friendly gesture, if he did something nice for her, she would do something nice for him. But the nice thing she did was that she saved him from being totally, dead. He did something nice for her. He gave her a library. That's like the two friendly gestures that you can make. I saved your butt outside from sudden death. I gave you a library. That's the most kindly, friendly gesture you can do, and I think that's the most compassionate. The fact that they became so they switched their feelings and emotions. They switched. It was definitely a friendship thing. They were starting to feel friendly towards each other. I find that very important as an identity, because you would never judge someone by something, by what they look like or what they appear to be. You always find what's in the good inside. Like the outside, you can't do that. You can't judge someone by the gender or their race or their age or in this ethnicity. I can't really say that word. Or by how they speak or how they look. You can't judge someone by the outside. It's what the inside that counts. And you would never judge a book by its cover. You would never ever do that. You only find what's in the good inside, whether you're nice, whether you're kind, whether you're sweet or passionate, or whether you have a sense of humor, and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, you always find the good inside, because that is what's most important about identity. You cannot identify someone who could be a whole lot different than you. You need to find what is inside of them and then make that inside come out. Because sometimes most people, we have that ability to, sometimes it can be hard to let out who you are. It's sometimes really hard for some people, but for other people it can be absolutely easy. But yeah, so I think that's very important, and I think that's why this quote is very important about this particular film. Next quote, the next fact I have is, in a 1991 version of Beauty and the Beast, the reason why Belle married the Beast is because she refuses to let anything bad happen to her father. So her relationship with her father, it is so freaking strong. She is so caring towards him, and if anything bad were to happen to him, she wouldn't know what to do. But also the fact that let's get back to that jail scene. She was looking for him. She was going into his castle and looking for him. She didn't know where he was. She was so caring towards him. And the fact that back in the first scene of the movie, in the beginning of the film, the fact that her father is the only person that ever listens to her, because nobody else ever nobody else cares about her. Only cares about her books and her looks. You don't do that. But her father was the only person in that town that only listens to whatever she has to say, and nobody else really cared. You gotta at least get to know Belle. I mean, you got to at least know her, instead of judging her just because of her looks and just because she likes to read. Because most women, back in the day where women weren't allowed to be educated, it was a huge fence between that situation. Like men were allowed to be educated, but women couldn't. That's 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 driven a huge wedge between the women because I guess they weren't allowed to do whatever they wanted to do. But some, I think either a president or some kind of um, like a important legend person. I guess I don't know how they say it these days. um, they made that decision for everyone, even men and women could be educated. They can learn new stuff. They can be, they're gonna learn like math. They can learn history. They can learn science. They can learn, um, like study of animals and stuff. Like you can learn that kind of stuff. Um, but yeah, so the fact that Belle, her father, they have a huge connection. I know that most people don't have connections um, with their fathers, and that is totally okay. That's totally an okay feeling to have. Um, but if anything were to happen to any of your fathers, you would know you don't know what to do. Because like for me, like family is top priority for everyone. Everyone loves their family. Everyone cares about them. Everyone loves them. Everybody loves to spend time with their family. That is priority. With your dads, you gotta be there for them, whether they're in danger, you know, whether they're putting themselves in horrible situations, like putting them in the jail because being captured by a beast. Why would you do that? And also the fact that, like, why? Like, I know that her father accidentally, like, went into the beast's castle just so he can get some warmth. But also the fact that why would you enter the beast if you're getting warm? You could have at least gone back home and get some warmth there. Like, I don't understand that. But but anyway, her Belle and her father are so connected to each other, and I absolutely love that about that. Because most people are so connected with their families. Like for me, I'm trying to be there for my family. Um, we're dealing with difficult hardships and um, with like death and um, like separation and people going through things and um having trouble with remembering things, and that's totally understandable. um we just don't want to judge someone like that. But it's a good thing that fathers are there for their daughters, which I think that's really nice feeling to have. um And the next fact I have is the true message of Beauty and the Beast. This is where it gets important. Is that we should value inward characteristics such as kindness over other superficial qualities such as wit and appearance. Like I said before, appearance doesn't even matter. We only matters what's on the inside that counts in this particular situation. And we need to find the kindness inside that person. Kindness is the most amazing feeling to have. Like it's amazing, and I absolutely love that about because that's a good personality and good quality to have. Um, so the next fact I have is about the rose. I told you this would be important about the rose. I told you I'd tell you about this later. So the rose in Beauty and the Beast, and this is the most important one of all because this is like how the rose symbolizes this film. So the rose in Beauty and the Beast symbolizes unending love, timeless beauty, and the magic of the impossible. That is so important. The fact that the rose, it is so magical, but also the fact that at the beginning of the film, where the enchantress cast a spell on the castle and all who had lived there, the beast, the candle, the clock, the dishes, the silverware, everyone who lived in that castle. She put a spell on everybody just because the beast insulted the enchantress of how she looked. And she offered the beast a single red rose in order for shelter from the bitter cold. I guess that's how the saying goes. I'm not really so sure. It was an enchanted rose. And the saying was, if you could learn to love another and earn her love in return by the time the last petal fell, then the spell will be broken. If not, he will be doomed to remain a beast for all time. I think that Belle actually made the impossible to actually start caring towards the beast. And that's literally the impossible. She fell for someone that didn't even look exactly like her. And yet she found so much kindness, so much caring, so much like thoughtfulness inside the beast. She didn't even care what he looked like on the outside. She only saw what's on the good side, what's on the inside. She saw the goodness in him. She saw a huge change in him. And I know that change can be very hard for some people. But like we need to see what's in the good, not in the bad. Because bad is past. But seeing on the inside, it's what's most important. Whether you are sweet and kind and generous and, the feeling of being so like caring towards another person. That is so important and so enriching. And the last fact I have on here is the metaphor of Beauty and the Beast, and this is also another important fact that I found on the internet. Thank you, internet, for helping me with this research. Is the development of the feminine civilized by animal bridegroom. I mean, when I say animal bridegroom, I'm trying to think of what that means. Like, let's say that at the end of the film, she actually starts to love the beast and, starts caring, and the fact that he almost got killed again, almost got his butt kicked by Gaston. Just because Gaston wants Belle all to himself. Like, I mean, you are a pig, Gaston. You can't just go for someone who is beautiful. You gotta look inwards. You are such a pig, Gaston. Such a pig. Like, honestly, who would do this kind of stuff? Like, bro, you don't judge someone by their looks. You gotta see what's on the inside. You shouldn't be in this film, but you're gonna judge someone by the outside. You're not gonna do that. You just can't. But yeah, and also the fact you just can't do that. The Beast, he didn't judge her because of her beauty. He didn't do that, but Gaston did. He is such a pig. I mean, YouTubers, you've got to agree with me. You have to agree on me on this. Like, who would do that? Like, honestly. But anyway, that's the facts I have on there. Now let's go over to my thoughts and opinions and how I felt about this film. So let me see what I have written down. Shall we? I think we shall. So this is what I wrote. The film that I chose is Disney classic love story of Beauty and the Beast. Like I said before, Not only is it a Disney movie, but it also happens to be one of my favorite Disney movies. Like I said before. I know I say that a lot, but bear with me. And this is also what I said. What I noticed throughout the film is exterior. The fact that the first time that Belle meets Beast, she judges him as like the monster, quote quote. And the Beast gets super sensitive about how he's treated, and he gets sensitive about the name calling. The fact that Gaston only goes for the prettiest of women, like I said before, doesn't care about their emotions or doesn't listen to what they have to say. All he cares about are their looks. That is not for Belle. And then for Belle, her dad, the first time that he went to the Beast's castle because he thought he was going to the fair, but his horse took him to the castle by mistake. And her dad walks into the castle and sits in the Beast's chair. This is also what I've also said as well. So he pulls him and takes him to his jail cell where he's going to live as the Beast prisoner. Belle gets treated badly in her own town. Um, and his horse takes him to the castle by mistake, and her dad walks into the castle and sits in Beast's chair, which then Beast comes in and finds Belle's dad, in his chair, and he's not pleased with it. So he pulls him and takes him to his jail cell where he's going to live as the Beast prisoner. Belle gets treated badly in her own town because they say stuff about her, like say that she's an odd person because no one ever reads books in the town, and Belle is the only girl in town who reads books, which is odd. And she feels all alone who doesn't get her. Her dad, sorry about that. Her dad, yeah, that's right, but her dad. So she gets treated like crap. Sorry about my language. In the town because they don't see her for who she is. They only see her as the potential bookworm. Which she doesn't want the town to think of her as. And with Gaston treating Belle like an object and only seeing her because of her beauty, she doesn't like being seen like that. Throughout the whole film, the major theme of it is that you never judge someone by its identity. You always find the good and personality within. Like I said earlier, the fact that the movie takes place in France, ooh la la. When I first saw Gaston on screen, I was like, this guy is all about looks and no personality. He's not a good guy to be around with. At the end of the movie, he tends to kill the Beast, like I said previously, because he didn't want Belle to be with someone who is not like Gaston. He wanted Belle all to himself, and with the Beast gone, he wanted her to be his bride. To Belle's point, she wanted to be with the Beast because she saw the good in him and saw a change in the Beast. First time that she met him, she thought he was a total monster and scary to be around. But when she got the chance to know him better, and for saving him in the forest after getting hurt by the winter wolves, she saw good in him and saw a change in him and turned out to be a whole lot nicer and sweet to Belle. And he started to get to know her as well and take an interest in what she likes and starts to respect her. He has become a better creature for her and not act like a total monster around her. In the middle of the film, where the Beast and Belle gets ready for their evening dancing and dinner, the song "Tales All This Time" that is also a good song. The live action one, that song was sung by famously John Legend and Ariana Grande, which you will see in Wicked next month, so stay tuned for that. The song enters when the camera pans on Belle in her beautiful golden yellow dress. She's already coming down the stairs, and she looks up to where the Beast is up at the top of the stairs, looking so dashing in his gold and blue outfit. And they walk together down the stairs, holding her hand in his arms and looking at each other lovingly. And they are enjoying each other's company as they sit by the dinner table. So that is what I wrote so far. But by the end of that scene where the Beast takes Belle outside and starts, chatting with her, seeing how she is feeling about living with him at the castle. She was like, he pulls up to her and he's like, "Are you happy here with me?" And she was like, "Yes." And then he notices that she's looking off to the side, and he worries about this because he cares so much about her. And he says, like, "What is it?" And the fact that she misses her father, and she wishes that she could see him again. The Beast takes her back to his well, I wouldn't say lair, but like his room, the West Wing. He finds out this other way, and he takes her to his room, and he gives her the mirror where she could see her father. Her father is trying to get home. He's out in the snow where the Beast left her, where the Beast left him. The carriage that took her father out in the forest where she accepted the uh where she accepted the fact that she was going to be the Beast's prisoner. That was the same carriage that took her father out into the village. And I think that the carriage actually dropped him off at the exact same point where Belle saw her father in the snow. The carriage didn't take him to the town. The carriage dropped him in the snow. Like, it didn't take him to the village at all. It took him right in the middle of nowhere in the forest. He's still in the forest. You just don't do that. Like, really. But she worries that he could be sick and dying, and he's all alone out there. The Beast also makes this other bold and really sad move, and he says that he'll let her go and see her father, because I think he knows how much she needs to see him, because he's out there in trouble, and like she needs to be out there for him. He kind of senses that like that feeling where like, oh, you gotta be with your, oh, I see what the problem is. You gotta be with your father. I know I may not be like important like to you or anything, but like you gotta be out there with your father, and I will understand that, because being with family is what's most important. This is the importance of family. And even though it was very painful and very heart wrenching for the Beast to let her go, because he absolutely started to love her to pieces. Like, he started to actually have feelings for her, and like, he didn't want to let that good feeling go, but he did it anyway. But the fact that when she went out and said, "Thank you for understanding how much he needs me," and the fact that he wanted her to take the mirror with her so that she would always have the way to look back and remember him. And he was so caring and so like touching for her. Like, he's so kind and like so he absolutely loves her to death. And he realizes this after she's gone. He tells his servants that he let her go and that he had to. And also the fact that he loves her. And he didn't want to let her go. He just want to hold that good feeling. He wanted to have the good feeling inside him. He didn't want to let that good feeling go. Like, he didn't want to let her go, but he saw how much she needed to see her father. And that's a most like, it's sad. But at the end of the film, Belle goes back to the castle, because the fact that Gaston and the rest of his somehow crew tried to goes and makes attempts to kill the Beast, so that Gaston would have Belle all to himself. So he would kill the Beast practically on their wedding day. No, thank you. Oh man, but yeah. So there was so much identity in this film. I personally love Being a Beast. It's one of my favorites, as I said at the beginning of this live stream. Yeah, you would never identify someone who is not like you. Like, you need to find the good inside you, and I think that's what's most important. Um, and if you are, and if you have, and I am so glad that that this film has been made, not only because the 1991 version, that's the OG, the live action one, I think it was in 2018, 2019. I could be dead wrong, but let's research this, shall we? So we're gonna say Beauty and the Beast live action. Oh, so I said, so it was 2017. I was right. Haha. And we have the characters as Emma Watson, who was it's a live action version. We have Emma Watson played as Belle, and she is actually, get this, she was in Harry Potter. Hermione Ranger was played as Belle. Who knew? Dan Stevens as the Beast, he played him so well. I was very impressed with how the movie was made. Luke Evans as Gaston, the pig. Josh Gad as LeFou. I think you would know Josh Gad from Frozen, voicing as Olaf. I think you would know that. And Ewan McGregor, he was also, get this, and Stormy, you're going to be happy about this. Ewan McGregor, he was the voice of Lumiere in Beauty and the Beast. And he was in Star Wars. He was Obi-Wan Kenobi. What? Mind blown. But anyway, I hope you all have enjoyed this research of my representation in film analysis of Beauty and the Beast. I hope you like this stream. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I am up to 42 subs, I believe. And I see that one of you is watching and gave a like. Thank you for that. And I hope I didn't bore you with my words for tonight. But thank you, people, for joining my stream. I'm just answering you Stormy, real quick. Hold on. But thank you all for coming. Thank you to my my good YouTuber Stormy for tuning in and chatting with me. I know I didn't talk much, but that's totally okay. But anyway, this is Black Sky Studio sign off. And if you guys would like to see more movie reviews, please comment down in the comment section. That would be great. If not, that's okay too. This is just for a homework assignment that I am currently doing. But anyway, I hope you guys like this stream. And I will see you all in the next one. Sign off, Black Sky Studios. Have a good night.